Okay, Shalom. Okay, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rakakadash. Okay, double honors to our apostles and elders, and peace and shalom to your hopeful elect fellow laborers. Oh, wow, I push record, and here comes a baby deer, one with the spots. Wow, beautiful. Anyway, peace and shalom to the fellow laborers, people of Negro, Latino, Native American, Seminole Indian descent, Israelite foreigners as well, who've been scattered and living amongst the heathen nations that are Israelites and may also look like the heathen nations, but they're Israelites through their father's side. And you Aqua, that's humbling yourself, peace and shalom. Okay, so what I have here is an example of what's in the scriptures here. Okay, but examining this girl 17 who vanished from home 2 months ago, found engaged to 44-year-old man. So what I'm going to show you here, and listen, topics like this is what raises a lot of emotions, and it brings out the emotions and the foolishness of people that have no understanding. All right, but this is in the ancient world, and according to the Bible, this is actually lawful. All right. I know, there you go, getting emotional. I can hear the people crying now. When they talk shit, that's okay. We taking all this on. We don't run from this fact. All we're here to do is just give you the scriptures, man, and the truth of the scriptures. Simple as that. Girl 17 who vanished from home 2 months ago, found engaged to a 44-year-old man. Penelope Penny Weiss disappeared from her home in Cedar Springs, Michigan on May 31st and was not found until Sunday, when she was discovered living with an older man she was engaged to. And she don't look like 17. She looks a lot younger than that, though. But nevertheless, the point is that she's of age. She's of the flower of her age as well, and we're going to go into that. Okay, so it says a teenage girl who vanished from her home in Cedar Springs, Michigan around 2 months ago has been discovered leading an unexpected new life. Officials revealed that she had been discovered residing with an older man to whom she was also betrothed. Oh, the 17-year-old girl of Penny Wise was absconded from her abode in Cedar Springs on May 31st around the clock of 6 p.m. as per the testimonies of her relatives, who registered her missing to the Kent County Sheriff's Office. So again, under this devil rule, what's made lawful and what's lawful and orderly in the scriptures, this devil, he makes it a criminal, a felony offense, and he locks you up for it. So you got to understand, this devil, the so-called white man who runs the world, he's contrary to who you call God. He's totally opposite. He's anti-order. He's he's an anti-Messiah, period. So again, he makes it so that the Israelites we cannot serve our power, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, in our fullness, because of this devil. He wants us to go off. He wants us to look like the wicked, the sinners, which most of our people are. But again, according to the scripture, this isn't unlawful. This is actually lawful. And an example I have for you is somebody that was after the Most High's own heart. And again, excuse me, because she and the guy, which they don't show, they could be Israelites, but though they may look like Edomites, and slack it for the example that I have for you, but this is the best it can get. Again, they can very well be Israelites, even though they look like Edomites. So we're not to judge by the appearance. You got to try the spirit, like the scripture says. And I thought I had one here. I thought it was Romans, but let's see what I have here. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of the Most High. So really, um, that what I'm presenting you with here is just an example of what's scriptural. But in ordinary, usually on the highways and the byways, when someone comes up to us and they're interested in the scriptures and showing a genuine interest, especially if they understand these scriptures, they're an Israelite. If they understand these scriptures, no matter what they look like. That's why the scripture says, beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they are of the Most High. All right? Because these scriptures and the truth of these scriptures aren't given to heathens to understand. All right? It's starting to rain. I got to change my position. I got to change my spot. Oh, my goodness. Here I am. One spot to the next. One spot to another. I hope they left this open. Okay. Let me slide this thing now. The sound may change a little. Okay, so again, not that it makes a difference if they're Israelites or not. Again, my whole point is here is just to give you an example of how this is biblical. So normally we would test the spirit of that individual, no matter if it looks like a Chinese person. For example, Bruce Lee is an Israelite, but it looks Chinese, okay? John Travolta looks like a so-called white man, but he's an Israelite. Those are just examples of what we be referring to, trying the spirits. So, there was one more also. And let me see if I can find it. Thought I had it up. There we go. John 7:24. Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. So a lot of times, appearance, giving reference to how someone is dressed, which our people usually like to listen to someone and they're more likely to accept and listen to someone has a suit on, a suit and tie and jewelry and a nice car, instead of listening to a homeless man that can give you better advice and more wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. They will still disregard him and listen to the rich man. That's just how the majority of the world is. Foolish. And the scriptures gives you an examples of that. It mentions that as well, how people listen to the rich man and they and would totally disrespect the poor man. And also appearance, whether they could be, they may look like one of the heathen nations, because there's groups of our people that don't know the difference that there's a difference in nations, that, all people that may have melanin in their skin, we're not the same people. For example, like East Indians, you can see that they have a totally different spirit. All right. Especially those Hamites, and especially those in the Sudan. Totally different spirit than us Israelites, man. We're not the same people. So you got to try people's spirit, man. And judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. All right? I know I went off ranting about something else other than, because it doesn't matter if these individuals, the 17-year-old and the 44-year-old, it doesn't matter if they're Israelites or not. I just wanted to put that out there that people make that up. Oh man, what difference does it make? Those are Edomites. Shut the hell up. Anyway, so the example I have here is King David. And again, what did he say about King David? Okay, this is what he said about King David. All right, come on. 1 Corinthians 7:36. No, Slack it. I got to find the scripture. I lost it. I got to find the scripture. Oh, man. Come on. Come on. Let me see if I can find the scripture. I might have to look it up again. Let me just look it up again. I thought it was Luke. Oh, Acts 13. And this is David, who I'm going to give you the example of. Acts 13 and 22. And when he had removed Saul, because Saul didn't listen to the orders that was given to him from above, and he didn't kill all the Amalekites, and particularly he saved Agag, a piece of trash, who Samuel eventually took care of, hacked his ass to pieces. Saul eventually wanted to do his own thing and not follow what he was ordered to do. That's who was removing him. When he had removed him, he raised up unto them David to be their king. Okay, to whom also he gave testimony and said, I have found David, the son of Jesse, a man after mine own heart, which shall fulfill all my will. His will, and hold on, give you understanding, ought to fulfill all his will. All his will. His will is what? What is will? The lemma.
Strong's G 2307. Thelema.
His will. Choice, inclination, desire, pleasure. What one wishes or has determined shall be done. Of the purpose of the Most High to bless mankind through Messiah, and what the Most High wishes to be done by us, commands and his precepts. So examining 1 Kings, David, before he got old, wouldn't have had no problem with this. So clearly the people around David are following after his ways, the customs of the Israelites. Actually, the customs of the ancient world period, not just the Israelites, because this was a custom that all nations observed or participated. All nations on the earth, man. And you can go to early examples from the early 1900s where, especially, for example, like that Elvis Presley, who's an Israelite himself. He married Princella was 12 years old when he married her, man. And that's just and there's many of examples of these so-called artists and entertainers and athletes, that look like so-called Edomites, so-called white people, that they married young girls, man. Oh, hold up. The example, the movie Color Purple. And you seen Danny Glover. He was older and he was well up in age, and he got him, he wanted the young girls, and he ended up getting Whoopi. She was a young girl. She was young, So this isn't something new. It's just that so-called white man and turn these things into felonies, turn them into offenses, which is devil in his works is offensive to the Most High. And the Most High in all his order and uprightness is offensive to these devils, man. So again, now King David was old and stricken in years, and they covered him with clothes, but he got no heat. They was trying to arise him, not just his rod, but they was trying to bring some life into him, because his body was actually, he was dying. He was losing the heat, So it says, wherefore his servant said unto him, let there be sought by my lord the king a young virgin, and let her stand before the king, and let her cherish him, and let her lie in thy bosom, that my lord the king may get heat. So they was trying to get a rise in them. So they sought for a fair damsel, and look at this word, a fair damsel, a fair damsel, not no old hoe. They went and got a fair damsel. Okay, girl, damsel, female servant, girl, damsel, little girl. And hold up, it's going to get specific. Of young woman, marriageable young woman, a concubine, a prostitute, maid, female attendant, female servant. But here we go, feminine. Of Strong's H5288, a girl from infancy to adolescence. And you know he wasn't dealing with no infant. That's not lawful. He was dealing with an adolescence. They came to the flower of her age, which right here is in, is that Corinthians or was that John here? There we go. But first, hold up. Let's examine this first. Let's examine this first. Oh, did I hit the wrong one? Yeah, I hit the wrong one. It's like, here we go. Okay, infancy to adolescence. Give you an understanding what was going on. That going to that word adolescence here. Adolescence is a transitional. Adolescence is a transitional stage of physical and psychological development that generally occurs during the period from puberty to adulthood. Adolescence is usually associated with the teenage years, but its physical and psychological and cultural expressions may begin earlier or end later. So going down, what is adolescence from 12 to 18 years old. So the scriptures here mention what? What does it mention? But if any man think that he, 1 Corinthians 7:36, but if any man thinketh that he behaveth himself uncommonly toward his virgin, if she pass the flower of her age and need so require, let him do what he will. He sinneth not. Let them marry. Sex. That's their marriage. That's sex is their marriage. When the flower of her age, the flower of her age is her period. That's her period. The flower of her age. I don't think it says that here. We looked at this so many times, can't always remember. The flower of her age.
Strong's G 807. Aschemaneo. Aschemaneo.
And it doesn't give it to you. It's like I hit the wrong one. The flower of her age. It's like I hit the wrong one. She passed.
Strong's G 5230. Uperikmos. Uperikmos.
Beyond the bloom or prime of life. Overripe, plump, and ripe. And so in a greater danger of defilement of a virgin. Strong's G 5228 and the base of G 188 beyond the acme figuratively of a daughter past the bloom prime of youth. Her period. Okay, that's her period. And you know that some girls have periods at 12 and 13 years old. You know, in the ancient world, and this is the world where we're going back to again. But in the ancient world, it was common. It was common for a man to have many wives that were young. And he grew old with them. And he had concubines that were young. You know, he dealt with them. This was common back then. And it's common now. It's just, you know, those get caught. And we don't encourage you to go out looking for no young kids, man, at this age, because you have to be wise in this world. We're not encouraging you. I highly recommend you don't. You know, so remember, you're going to face persecution dealing in this world with this devil's. That the time of this devil's rule is almost over, man. You know, so stay in your lot. Just stay patient and wait till all order is put right back in its place, man. Just sit back patiently and wait, because the Lord's He's bringing order back to this world. He's bringing it back. So that's it. The flower of her age. You know, this is what David was dealing with. This is what they presented to David. A young virgin, man. A young girl. And she was probably built too, you know. She was probably, I remember being 14 years old, my first girl, man. My first girl was 12 years old. I was 14, she was 12, man. We was knocking boots doing the nasty for several years. She was 12 when I met her, man. 12. 12. And I was dealing with her regularly. We were married, man. Not according to this world, but according to the in the eyes of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. That was my wife. You know? So this is what they gave to David. So get mad. I know this brings out the emotions of y'all butthurt niggas, man. Y'all, because your knowledge and your understanding is based around your emotions, just like these women anyway. That's why the Lord's not dealing with y'all, man. You mama boys. The Lord ain't dealing with no mama boys. He's not, the Lord, the Yahweh Shem Yahushua is not dealing with no emotional nigga, period. Okay? So wherefore his servant said unto him, let there be sought for my Lord a king, a young virgin, and let her stand before the king, and let her cherish him. Were they going off? No, they weren't going off. And let her lie in thy bosom, that my Lord the king may get heat. So they sought for a fair damsel throughout all the coast of Israel. So they found an Israelite, a young Israelite, and found Abishag, a Shunammite, and brought her to the king. And hold on, let's see what her name means. Let's just see what her name means. Abishag, my father is a wanderer. David's beautiful young nurse. He goes, my father is a wanderer. A concubine of David. So concubine. So I guess she might not have been an Israelite. Because you marry Israelite women, but the heathens, what women you don't marry. So the heathen women are concubines. So I guess she was a concubine. A heathen, So I had to correct myself there. Because it says throughout all of the coast of Israel, and found Abishag a Shunammite, and brought her to the king. And the damsel was very fair, and cherished the king, and ministered to him, but the king knew her not. That young thing, which I can imagine how she was built. She was probably built nice, flawless, didn't get a rise out of king. So they knew that was the end. He was on his way out. They knew it from that moment on, he was on his way out. Then Adonijah, the son of Haggith, exalted himself, saying, I will be king, and be prepared him chariots and horsemen and 50 men to run before him. So anyway, and there you go. Leave message, leave me your opinion, tell me what you think. There's no way in the scriptures that you can debunk this. You can't debunk it. I can go even further examples, but this is enough. This is biblical, man. So again, hope you were edified, and informed. Till next time, Lord willing, shalom.